प्रविश्यं वाचन्मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाप्यवृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Start from verse 3. Okay, verse 3. What is that? Trayaivedyam hridyam tripuraharamadhyam trinayam jataabharodaram chaladuragaharam मृगधरं महादेवं देवं मयि सदय भावं पशुपतिं सिदालम्बं साम्बं शिरोमतिविडम्बं हृदि भजे सहस्रं वर्तन्ते जगद्विबुधाः क्षुद्रफलाः न मन्ये स्वप्ने वा तदनुसरणं तत्कृतफलम् हरिब्रह्मादीनामपि निकटभाजामसुलभम् चिरं याचे शम्भो शिव तव पदाम्भोजभजनम् स्मृतौ शास्त्रे वैद्ये शतनकविता गानफणितौ पराणे मन्त्रे वा स्तुतिनटनहास्येष्वचतुरः कथं राज्ञां प्रीतिर्भवति मयि कोऽहं पशुपते पशुं मां सर्वज्ञं प्रथित कृपया पालय विभो घटो वा मृत्पिण्डोऽप्यनुरपि च धूमोऽग्निरचलः पटो वा तन्तुर्वा परिहरति किं घोरशमनम् वृथा कण्ठक्षोभं वहसि तरसा तर्कवचसा पदाम्भोजं शम्भोः भज परमसौख्यं रजसुधीः नमस्ते पादाब्जे निवसतु वचस्त्रोत्रफणितौ करौ चाभ्यर्चायां श्रुतिरपि कथा कर्णविधौ तव ध्याने बुद्धिः नयनयुगलं मूर्तिविभवे परग्रन्थाङ्कैर्वा परमशिव जाने परमतः. So we did up to this previous class. Paragranthan kairva paramashiva jani paramataha. So may all the sense organs engage in activities which are connected with thee. Manaste padabje nivasatu. Vachaha stotra phanitau nivasatu. Okay. So this is how he prays to him. So firmly may they be established. Karaucha bhyarchayam shrutiravi Kathakarnana vidhau. Kathayaha akarnana. So may that be taken as the discipline. Kathakarnana vidhau nivasatu. Means you basically form a certain habit. So in those days, in many places they used to do this. So now it is somewhat less, as I have seen in the villages. So almost in every household, they will be doing this Shiva Puja. So Panchayatanam will be there and they will be doing. So they may engage in certain other activities in the afternoon, but as far as the morning is concerned, so they will go. Particularly in the banks of Kaveri, where I have seen 30-40 years ago. So morning you go and then so you do an Anushtanam for quite some time. Then you come back with the water from there and then do Shiva Puja and then only get into other activities. So that's why he is saying Karaucha Bhyarchayam Shrutirapi Kathakarnana Vidhau Tava Dhyane Buddhihi Nayanayugalam Murti Vibhave Paragranthan Kairva Paramashiva Jane Paramataha. Now we move on to the next verse. Yatha buddhishuptau
Yatha buddhishuptau Yatha buddhishuptau
Rajatamiti kachashmani manihi
Rajatamiti kachashmani manihi Rajatamiti kachashmani manihi
Jale paishte kshiram
Jale paishte kshiram Jale paishte kshiram
Bhavati mriga trishna susalilam
Bhavati mriga trishna susalilam Bhavati mriga trishna susalilam
Tatha deva bhrantya
Tatha deva bhrantya Tatha deva bhrantya
Bhajati bhavadanyam jadajanaha
Bhajati bhavadanyam jadajanaha
Bhavati bhavadanyam jadajanaha Mahadevesham tvam
Mahadevesham tvam Mahadevesham tvam
Manasi cha namatva pashupate
Manasi cha namatva pashupate Manasi cha namatva pashupate
Yatha buddhishuptau rajatamiti. So there are 4 similes that are presented in this verse. The Kriyapada here is bhajati. So bhajati. So bhajati bhrantya bhajati. What he says. So bhrantya bhajati. So bhrantya is due to illusion. So bhrantya bhajati. Kam bhajati bhavadanyam bhajati. So here tritiya hetav, out of confusion, out of illusion, okay, they go and seek favor from other people. Bhajati. Bhajanam is basically so gunagana. This is what is bhajanam. So even bhajana sampradaya they say. So what essentially they do is tadiya gunagana. So this is what we normally call as stotra. Stotra is a technical term. So gunasya gana, singing the glory, okay, singing the virtues. That is what is. So it can be singing the name and singing anything that is associated with that person. Tatha devabhrantya bhajati. That is the sense in which you have to take the word bhajati here. Bhrantya bhavadanyam bhajati means, so out of confusion this person goes and praises the other people. Bhavadanyam. And by this very act that he performs, so Bhagavad Pada here, he describes that person as Jada Janaha. Jada Janaha. Jada Janaha. See, Jada generally means inert. Okay. So inert in the sense of, so inert being does not have the ability to make any discrimination. So it is in that sense he describes this person as a Jada Janaha. He is not able to take wise decision. Tatha devabhrantya. Tatha means similarly. So similarly he does. So similarly means there are a few similes which are presented. So he starts with Yatha buddhishuktau rajatamiti. This is the first simile. Buddhihi. Buddhihi. So his intellect. His intellect, after all, when we see something, so what happens is, a signal gets into our mind. So that signal is processed within the mind. And then we immediately create a certain picture. Right? Sometimes this picture is created without having any external signal also, which is what happens in dream. Okay? So internal processes themselves create a certain picture for us. So here when we look at certain things, so this is some experience which many of us would have seen in our own lives. So you keep thinking of some person, so any person comes will look like that person, right? So this happens. So and then after he approaches, sometimes this Brahma gets removed. So this, here he says, Yatha buddhi. Now what happens is, so the rays are same, the entity may be different, but any similar characteristics, because you have been thinking, it generates a certain picture and presents to you. This is what we call as Brahma. Okay. So recognizing an entity X as some other entity which is non-X is what is called Brahma. So this is defined in various ways in various texts. So what is the final definition given by Bhagavad Pada Adhyasa Bhashya? Atasmin tadbuddhi. This is a simple definition. Atasmin tadbuddhi. So what is Brahma? Atasmin means you think that this possesses certain characteristics which it does not possess. An entity which does not possess a certain characteristic is recognized to be possessing that characteristic is Brahma. Okay. So for instance, so many people think that this will give me happiness, that will give me happiness. They keep pursuing that. So this is called Brahma. Atasmin tadbuddhi. Okay. So happiness is here, ultimately. So this has to be understood. So here he is giving 4 examples to drive in. 3 examples are actually commonly found in various texts and particularly in Vedanta. One is something which is somewhat unusual here, he presents. So the first one is Shuktau Rajatamiti. Shukti is basically a shell. The shell has some glitter. So if you see, I have seen See, in my childhood, so we will go to some beaches. Nowadays, these beaches also do not have this kind of shells. In those days, 45 years ago, when my father used to take us, so we found shells of a variety of colors, and in some places may be there, but in cities all it is gone. And we used to even pick up. So which has, so Shuktihi refers to that shell that has some glitter that looks like a Rajata. Yatha buddhi shuktau rajatamiti. Shuktau rajatamiti buddhihi yatha. As you conclude looking at a shell as silver, this is one example. Then Kachashmani manihi. Kachashmani manihi. So you have to properly pronounce mani first. Kachashmani manihi. Okay. Kacha refers to glass. So ashma means normally it refers to some sort of a stone. Okay. That is what it generally ashma means. But here it has to be taken as some piece of solid glass. Okay. Kachashmani. So some solid glass in some form that can also reflect light. So one can be deluded by looking at that as some sort of a mani. Okay. Kachashmani manihi. Then the third example is somewhat unusual. He says, Jale paishte kshiram. Paishta. How do you get the form? Paishta. So Pishta Shabdat an pratyaya. Okay. So it means Pishta Sambandhi. Pishta basically refers to a flour. You can take it as rice flour. Okay. Jale paishte. Paishte jale. See, this is quite possible. So see, I don't know whether this is in North India and other places, but definitely in South India and Tamil Nadu. So they make some rice flour. Okay. What do they make for? Doing some kolam. Okay. So they do this rangoli. So in all the corners of the house they will do. So if that is kept in a vessel, so freshly done, that will look like kshira. Okay. So pishta sambandhi. Okay. So when added with water, Jale paishte kshiram. This is a possibility. Bhavati. Then the fourth example is Mrigatrishna Susalilam. Mrigatrishna is mirage. Okay. Salilam. So this is a bhranti that happens. Yatha buddhi shuktau rajatamiti bhavati. Yatha kachashmani manihi iti buddhihi bhavati. Okay. Yatha paishte jale kshiramiti buddhihi bhavati. Yatha mrigatrishnasu salilamiti buddhihi bhavati. Tatha. Okay. Similarly, Devabhrantya bhajati. One may be tempted to split it as Deva Bhrantya, but that is not required. Tatha Devabhrantya you can take. Devabhrantya. Deva means something which is shining, divyate. Divi bhavaha you can also say. So Devabhrantya means he is the Lord. See, Deva iti bhrantihi, Devabhranti. Tatha Devabhrantya bhajati bhavadanyam. Bhavadanyam means Ishvarat anyam. Okay. So you are the Ishvara. So leaving out this Ishvara, So Ishvara is the only source of solace for us, ultimately. The only source of security for us. So if some fellow leaves this and thinks that I will get this from various other places, okay, so you don't need to please all other fellows. If Ishvara is pleased, every other fellow will be pleased. Okay. Why keep struggling to please every other fellow? Tatha deva bhrantya. Most of the time is spent in pleasing various fellows. Okay. Tatha deva bhrantya bhajati bhavadanyam. Bhajati bhavadanyam. Jadajanaha. Jadajanaha evam bhajati. So, by this statement itself, it is understood that Sudhi Janaha na bhajati. Okay? So Sudhi Janaha na bhajati. Jada Janaha bhajati. Okay? Tatha deva bhrantya bhajati bhavadanyam jada janaha mahadevesham. Okay? So why is he saying that he is a jada jana? Because Mahadevesha is you. Deva Bhrantya, so you go and do these fellows. So Mahadeva, so it is like, so pleasing this fellow, this assistant registrar for doing something. So if you know, if the director, deputy director, so then things will get automatically done, right? So similarly, Mahadevesham Tvam. So you are the Isha for all. Mahadevesham Tvam Manasicha Namatva Pashupate. See, Pashupate is, as I was telling you even yesterday, Pashu is used to refer to Jiva. Okay? Pashupatihi. Pashunam patihi Pashupatihi. So you are the Lord of all the Jivas. Okay? Pashunam patihi Pashupatihi. So you are the leader of all Jivas. So this being the case, then if you are priest, okay, so then all other Jivas will fall in line. That's why we say Daivanchevatra Pancham. For any success, Adhishthanam Tatha Karta Karanancha Prithagvidham Vividhascha Prithak Cheshtaha Daivanchevatra Pancham. For us to succeed, so these 5 factors have to be known. We normally keep moving around wandering, okay, in fulfilling all the other factors. So this factor is not realized by us. Daivanchevatra Pancham. So others have to be taken, but this also is a very important, crucial factor. So he says, Mahadevesham Tvam Manasicha Namatva. Namatva. So not really understanding. So these fellows keep pleasing the other fellows. So that is illusion. That is what he is trying to say. Okay. So don't get deluded by this. So go and submit yourself to Ishvara. Read. Yatha buddhishukto rajatamiti kachashmani manihi jale paishte kshiram bhavati mrigatrishna susalilam tatha deva bhrantya bhajati bhavadanyam jadajanaha mahadevesham tvam manasi cha namatva pashupate. Now ninth verse. Gabhire kasare.
Gabhire kasare. Gabhire kasare.
Vishati vijane ghora vipine.
Vijane ghora vipine. Vishati vijane ghora vipine.
Vishale shaile cha.
Vishale shaile cha. Vishale shaile cha.
Bhramati kusumartham jadamatihi.
Bhramati kusumartham jadamatihi. Bhramati kusumartham jadamatihi.
Samarpikam chetas chetaha.
Samarpyekam chetaha. Samarpyekam chetaha.
Sarasijamumanaatha bhavate.
Sarasijamumanaatha bhavate. Sarasijamumanaatha bhavate.
You have to put them together. Samarpikam chetas sarasijamumanaatha bhavate.
Samarpyekam chetas sarasijamumanaatha bhavate. Samarpyekam chetas sarasijamumanaatha bhavate.
Sukhena avasthatum.
Sukhena avasthatum. Sukhena avasthatum.
Janaiha na janati kimaho.
Janaiha na janati kimaho. Janaiha na janati kimaho.
Gabhire kasare vishati vijane ghora vipine. See, one interesting thing that you will notice throughout Sivanandalahari is this alliteration, okay, anuprasa. So this is somewhat playing around in almost all verses. Even in the previous verse, just as I was reading, see, bhavati, so bhajati, bhajati bhavadanyam, bhrantya bhajati bhavadanyam jadajanaha. So three words continuously starting with bha bha bha. Bhajati bhavadanyam jadajanaha, bhrantya bhajati bhavadanyam. So here again, so you see, gabhire kasare vishati vijane ghora vipine. So this is what is called anuprasa. Vishale shaile. So bhramati, bhramati means he keeps wandering. Bhramati is wandering. Kutra bhramati, he just lists a few things. Gabhire kasare bhramati. Vishati, vishati is also there. Vishati means enters. And now we have the word pravesha, pravishati. Gabhire, some exams are called pravesha. Pravesha means this fellow is entering into that initial stages, and finally they will say Kovida. He may not come out as Kovida, but it's generally called as Kovida, the final exam. Okay. So Kovida means someone who is expert. So that is what Kovida means. Gabhire kasare vishati. The word kasara is an interesting word. So kasara actually means a huge lake. Huge lake is called kasara. Mahahradaha. That is what is called kasara. How is it called kasara? There are two different ways in which the word can be understood. The word kam actually refers to jalam. Okay. Kam means jalam. That is how we have the word kanja. The kanja in Tamil it is different. You know? Right? Do you know kanja? Right? A miserly fellow is called kanja. Okay, in Tamil. Of course, if you make it ga, it is different. But here, ka, kam, kamja. See? Kanjalochani, you see, is a epithet which you find in various songs. So Kanjalochani means the one whose eyes are like that of a lotus. Kanja means Jalaja, Padma. So Kanjalochani. So here, from the word Kanja, we understand Kam refers to Jala. Now, Kasya Jalasya Asaraha Yatra Bhavati Saha Kasaraha. What you say? Asaraha means basically Asamantat Saranam. Suppose there is a huge lake, then you can easily see that the streams of waters will flow into that. Okay. So even here you can see this Powai lake itself. There are various streams which will go and fall into that. And as they sort of fall into that, sometimes they may fall, so depending upon the place. Okay. Sometimes they may go and slowly merge. Whatever it is, so if it is a huge downpour, then there will be a lot of noise which will be created. But anyway, Kasya Jalasya Asaraha Yasmin Bhavati Saha Kasaraha. You can say. So this is one way of understanding the word Kasara. Another way of understanding the word Kasara is see, Kasam Shabdam Richati. Richati means prapnoti. So this act itself will create a noise. Understand? So when the water goes and flows into this lake, falls into this lake, Kasam means Shabdam. Okay? Shabdam Richati Prapnoti iti Kasaraha. Kena Shabdam Prapnoti Jalapatanadina, you can say. Now, so this itself is basically Kasa. See, in Hindi they will say Kasi, they will say. So in fact, Kasaha is Kutsita Shabdaha. When this fellow is coughing all the time, we get annoyed, right? Ourselves getting annoyed is one thing. Okay. So the other fellow will get more annoyed. That's why this Kasa is Kutsita Shabda. Shabda which will not be pleasing is what is called Kasaha in Sanskrita. So here, Shabdam Prapnoti, you can just say. In that way also one can derive the word Kasara. Anyway, Gabhire, Kasare, Kasara, we just take it as a huge water reservoir. Gabhire, Kasare, something which is somewhat deep and which wide, you can just say, whichever way you can understand. Gabhire, Kasare, Vishati. Why does this fellow get into that? So here he says, Kusumartham. Kusumartham Gabhire Kasare Vishati. Kusumartham means in order to get some flower. Vijane Ghora Vipine. Vipina refers to forest. Vijane Vipine. Ghora Vipine. Ghora, we have this, no? Bhagavad Gita. Tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. Where is it? Beginning itself. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana Tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. Ghore means something which is bhayankara, somewhat fearful. So here, Vijane ghora vipine. Vijane ghora vipine. Ghora vipine. So here he is using certain phrases which will help us to understand that there are various things into which we unknowingly get entangled, which is also ghora. Okay. Ghora is also used. See, we have this, see, some of you here would have done this Shraddha. So there, when praising this, there also the word ghora comes. See, Namo Vapidaro Rasaya, have you heard? Namo Vapidara Shushmaya, Namo Vapidaro Jivaya, Namo Vapidara Swadhayi, Namo Vapidaro Manyave, Namo Vapidaro Ghoraya, Pitaro Namo Vaha. There also. So there, basically, ghora means something which is bhayanaka in nature. Okay. So Namo Vapitaro Rasaya. So we pray the ancestors. Namo Vapitaraha. Vaha. There are two Vaha. No? There. Yushman Vaha. Yushmabhyam Vaha. Right? So here Namaha comes. Therefore, Vaha, Yushmabhyam Vaha, Chaduthi. Namo Vaha Pitaraha. He Pitaraha Vaha Namaha. Namo Vah Pitaro Rasaya. Namo Vah Pitaraha Shushma. Chaduthi is, we want to get this. So we want to get this. See, sometimes both are essential. Rasaya means in order to get rasa. Shushmaya means in order to get effulgence, tejaha and so on. So sometimes we may also have to show, see, that we can be little fearful. Right? Particularly when you are bringing up children. So we have to show that you are also little fearful. See, my grandmother, etc., they will just threaten. We will be really threatened. See, then only we will go and listen to them. No? So in other countries, they can't open their mouth. So because they will be locked up. So there is no question. This is something which I have seen. Problem. Okay. So Namo Vapitaro. My grandfather is also like this. So he will have this fan in his hand. Okay. If you commit a mistake, he will rotate that top. Okay. He will just beat with the stick of the palm. Okay. That palm fan will be there. Anyway, so Namo Vapitaro Ghoraya. See, Ghora is also used there. Okay. So here, Ghora Vipine. Vijane Ghora Vipine. Vijane Ghora Vipine. So this fellow gets into Vishale Shaile Cha Bhramati. So in the mountainous regions, he goes and collects some flowers. I have seen this. Many people do these things. So meticulously they do. So we don't try to demean them. Some of these people I have seen. Some of these people. Kusumartham jadamatihi bhramati. This is what he says. Kusumartham, in order to fetch flowers. So these fellows go to various extents and then pluck all of them. Sometimes I used to wonder. So there is another verse which I am reminded of in childhood. They say, Ahimsa Prathamam Pushpam. Pushpam Indriya Nigrahaha. Understand? So there are a few things which are listed like this I don't remember fully, but the verse starts, the set of verses start like this. I'm just reminded of them. Ahimsa prathamam pushpam pushpam indriya nigraha, and so on it goes. Now you fetch all these flowers, but then, so you keep shouting at home. You cannot control your anger. So you are hurting others. What is the point in offering this pushpam? Ahimsa prathamam pushpam, you first fetch that pushpam. Pushpam indriya nigraha, that pushpa you should acquire. Okay? And that you should offer as your offering to Ishvara. So this pushpa, other pushpa, all fine. I am trying to, but this is far more important. That is what he is trying to tell here. See, Bhagavad Pada, in the later half. So he says, Samarpyaikam chetasarasijam umanatha bhavati. Chetasarasijam. So other pushpas are helpful. Okay. But these pushpas which are very important. Okay. So these are all basically the qualities of Hridaya, right? Ahimsa, Indriya Nigraha. So all of them are kusumas. And these kusuma in the form of Hridaya you have to just offer to Ishvara. Okay. Samarpyaikam chetas sarasijam Umanatha, he Umanatha bhavate Sukhe navasthatum janaiha najanati kimaho. So now Bhagavad Pada is lamenting as if, what do I say? Kimaho, aho is a word which is used when you are really distressed. Okay, sometimes aho is used when you are elated. So here aho is used in the sense of distress. What do I say? Gabhire, Kasare, Vishati Vijane, Ghora Vipine, Vishale, Shaile, Brahmati, Kusumartham, Jadamatihi. In order to acquire Kusuma, this fellow keeps on wandering. On the other hand, he has not understood the importance of offering his Hridaya itself as lotus unto the feet of Parameshwara. That's what he is saying. See, Samarpya Yekam Chetas Sarasijam. Sarasija refers to lotus. And lotus in the form of your own heart. Samarpyaikam chetas sarasijam umanatha bhavate. Once you do this, you are relieved. Sukhe navasthatum. You can be completely relieved of all the burden. Sukhe navasthatum. I have seen one of my grandfather's uncle, okay, my childhood. He was a very, very practical man. Okay. So whatever it is, so he will just say yes, no, all right. Okay. So whether you say yes or you say no, it is all right to me. Okay. So this is something which will keep saying yes, no, all right. And anything that comes, this is Ishvara Ichha, this is Ishvara Ichha, this is Ishvara Ichha. Very, very, very absolutely cool person. Okay. At the age of 85, 90, he used to walk 5, 7, 8 kilometers from, there is a village called Pudichatram. Okay. From there, he will come to another village called Mullapudi. So once he took me, Maybe I was just maybe 10 years old or 12 years old, maybe. So we just took a walk. So I was not trained, but anyway, so he will just say some stories and then we walked for about 1.5 hours. Anyway, so that person I distinctly remember. So amazing person. Okay. So that is what is Chetas Sarasijam. They have surrendered. Okay, whatever it is. Samarpikam Chetas Sarasijam Umanatha Bhavate Sukhena Avastha. Once you do that, Sukhena Avastha. Okay. So you take care. You know what is good for me. Sukhena Avasthatum Janaiha Najanati. This fellow does not know. Kimaho aho etad vishaya aham kim vachmi. Okay. This lotus has to be surrendered. Okay, whether you offer others. In fact, I will tell you, if you really do puja, I have seen Paramacharya doing this. In my childhood, I have observed when he does this puja, various people put flowers in various ways. But this is a certain symbolic thing. Okay. Offering flower, you have to just take the flower, then take it to Hridaya and then offer like this. Okay. So this flower is symbolic of offering my own Hridaya. Okay. So this is how one has to even do the archana. Gabhire, read this. Gabhire kasare vishati vijane ghora vipine
Vishale shaile dhanamikusumartham jaramatihi samarpyenakam chetas sarasijam manatha bhavate sukhena avasthatum janaiha najanati kimaho.
In fact, there is a verse, no? Bhrantam desham aneka durga vishamam praptam na kinchit phalam. It's just like this. See? I'm just reminded. I will repeat the verse. Bhrantam desham aneka durga Bhrantam desham Bhrantam desham aneka durga vishamam Aneka durga vishamam praptam na kinchit phalam Tyaktva jati kulabhimanamuchitam Tyaktva jati kulabhimanamuchitam Tyaktva jati kulabhimanamuchitam Seva krita nishphala Seva krita nishphala Seva krita nishphala Bhuktam mana vivarjitam Paragriheshvasankaya kakavat Paragriheshvasankaya kakavat Paragriheshvasankaya kakavat Trishne jrimbhasi papakarma pishune Trishne jrimbhasi papakarma pishune Trishne jrimbhasi papakarma pishune Adyapi santushyasi Nadyapi santushyasi Nadyapi santushyasi. I'll tell you, it's a very beautiful verse. But just reminded, say Gabhire, Kasare, Vishati, Bhramati. This Bhramati reminded me of this. So this person says, Bhrantam desham aneka durga vishamam. It is like Gabhire, Kasare, Vishati, Vijani. Bhrantam desham aneka durga vishamam. Aneka Durga Vishamam Bhan. Very difficult places this fellow went. So then, see, I'll tell you, I was once in some European country. He is very famous. Anyway, one of these European countries which is famous for tourists and so on. I was there, and there people cautioned me. They cautioned, saying that you be very careful with your passport, particularly. So then I did not know. I mean, I was just a novel. They were just saying, so you be very, very careful. So then I asked why. So people will snatch away your passport. They say. What does he do by doing that? I said, I don't know. They will put their own. They have their own ways of getting this, and therefore you be careful. This is what they told me. Because many people do not get passport, so they do this kind of a thing, and then they cheat and then they come. So that is what I was told. Then I realized the truth. The same trip, the next day, I was just, not that I lost it or somebody snatched. That is a different thing. But here I met some fellow. That fellow was just came to me and then he was talking to me. So then people were going somewhere, so you can see this place. Then I also went. So for that I just met some fellow on the way. I was asking some route. So then he said that he also came here for making some livelihood. Okay, that's what he said. And I said, where are you from? He said, I am from Punjab. Then I said, I asked him, so then normally you will be having turban. No, why are you not having? No, don't ask me that. Then he narrated a story. That fellow said, then I asked him, where do you live? He said, I am taking shelter in this Gurudwara. Then I asked him, what do you do? He said, so during night, okay, I will take some bottles, okay, and then young people will be there on some seashore or somewhere. So I will go and give them this bottle. Then I said, how do you make it? So suppose the bottle is 20 priced. So I will give it at 22. So this is what my earning is. So this is how I live. Okay, I lead my life here. This is what he said. So then I asked him, how do you come? Don't you think that this is a very, very cheap kind of a living? Then he said, no, I get money because of this. I said, how did you come? Then he revealed. He said he doesn't have a passport. Then I asked him, how did you come? He said that they take some lorry from somewhere and some boat and so on and so forth. It took almost 2 months to reach to that place from India. Okay, and without that passport, that fellow said, I am just taking shelter in this Gurudwara. And so then I wanted to go to this place. That is where our conversation started. He said, I will take you. I said, he was looking a trustworthy fellow. So then so he just went. And in the bus, so there nobody gives the issues ticket. You have to get something. And this fellow said, you don't need to purchase. No, I said, I will purchase. So he said, I will not do. So, but anyway, I will have one. So if they ask, I will scan. Otherwise, I will just say, if I know some inspector is coming, I will do this. In the Mari, so I am just reminded, Prantam, Desham, Aneka Durga Vishamam. Finally, this fellow went there. Okay, Aneka Durga Vishamam, suffering for 2 months. So getting into some truck and getting into some boat and so on, finally reached. So then I told him, see, because you get more money. Okay. So then I asked him, in fact, so don't you have some land, etc. He says, but I wanted more money, therefore I have come here like this. So and I Tektva jati kula abhimanamuchitam seva krita nishphala. You understand? Jati, Kula, everything is just thrown to street. So no self-respect, nothing. It's just for making more money. Not that he cannot live a livelihood here. Tyaktva jati kula abhimanamuchita seva krita nishphala bhuktam mana vivarjitam paragriheshu asankaya kakavat. Why is this fellow going there? Trishna. To have more money, that's all. In fact, I asked him plainly, will you not have livelihood? Yes, I will have, but by selling this I get more money, therefore. Asankaya kakavat trishne jirumbhasi. So this is something which one should not do, but there are some people like this. Okay, so here he says, samarpekam chetaha sarasijam umanatha bhavati. See, when I compare to this, so and I also compare certain other people, see, who have been living in these villages, with absolute trupti. They may be in rags, see, and they are really principled people and keeping up that principle. I also tell you, see, one old fellow I met, amazing man. I was really shocked to see such individuals at this age. So it is all because they are not exposed. So the person, however much you give, he doesn't want to take. He was just with a small towel which is also torn. He may be 85 plus, something like that. Still, he makes something out of this palm leaf, something out of this. And whatever he gets, some 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 15 rupees by selling that. So that he engages in doing that. And whatever he earns through that is what he will use. I wanted to give him. I trusted him with money, he didn't take. I trusted him with, okay. So since he was not willing to accept dhoti or anything, which I was giving others, he did not accept. Somehow, he bluntly refused. Okay, he said, no, aap aashirwad kijiye, kafi hai, kafi. And then I heard that he is really, so he and his wife, they are living, they don't even have a very small shelter somewhere. And so even food he has a problem with this. So I purchased some provision and then gave him. Later I heard that he refused to take that also. So that kind of a tripti and this kind of a trishna that we see in our community, right community. Where is this? Bhrantam, see, this is a good verse. Bhrantam desham aneka durga vishamam praptam na kinchit phalam tyaktva jati kulabhimanamuchitam seva krita nishphala bhuktam manavivarjitam paragriheshvasankaya kakavat trishne jirumbhasi papakarma pishune nadyapi santushyasi. A very beautiful description. When I met this fellow, okay, so this verse, papakarma pishuna. Understand what is that? That is a beautiful phrase. See, papakarma pishuna means, so papam karma, papa karma. Okay. Pishuna, what does pishuna mean? Pishuna is a fellow who will go and bite the ears of other fellow. Understand? So papa karma pishuna means, so this trishna is like a papa karma pishuna. The pishuna who comes and tells something in your ear to engage in bad deeds. Trishna, the greed. The greed the poet has. This is what this fellow has done. No? Pal the papa karma. Papa karma pishuni nadyapi santushyasi. Many of these fellows who want to make huge money, they're all like that only. Right? So cheating. I heard about some fellow Gupta. He was in very high position in America. Very highly respected fellow. This Trishna, he was having some 100 billion. He wanted to make it to trillion. So he engaged in kind of activity. Everything called him. Papa karma pishune ne jrimbhasi nadyapi santushyasi. So here, the point here is, if we truly surrender ourselves to Ishvara, that is what this verse basically says. See, Hrit sarvojam chetas sarasijam umanatha bhavate. If we have given that, sukhena avasthatum, so that person takes care. Sukhena avastha. Janaiha na janati kimaho. Read this. गभीरे कासारे विशति विजने घोर विपिने विशाले शैले च भ्रमति कुसुमार्थं जडमतिः समर्प्यैकं चेतः सरसिजमुमानाथ भवते सुखेनावस्थातुं जनैः न जानाति किमहो. Okay, we will stop here. Om sarve sukhina santu, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet.